It's Saturday morning.
Yeah.
It's because that sound always reminds me of like Saturday morning kids TV.
Oh, like someone's won a
just like-
prize on Live and Kicking.
Yeah. Some just wacky kind of morning TV game show for kids. That's what that sounds.
I think it's like when they run out of time on like Funhouse on one of the.
Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it?
And your time is up.
Exactly.
How many
Get out of the
crystals have you
funhouse.
got? Yeah.
Bring all the presents back. Yeah, the prizes.
How many tokens do you have, Michael? I've got 4 tokens for Michael.
You've won a car. Well, Jonathan's car.
Wow, a go-kart. A chance at the Fun Kart Grand Prix.
Oh, dude, I'd love to do that.
And a
Funhouse.
trip to
Exactly.
Disneyland Paris.
Absolutely.
Oh, dude, no, you never get that. Get like a Walkman or like
Yeah.
trip to.
A portable television set.
Adam, wouldn't you love? Actually, yeah, like a handheld one with a Adam, wouldn't you rather go on the Fun Kart Grand Prix though, than actually?
Rather in the house. No, you want to go
yeah.
in the house, really. I just want to get gunged.
For those of you who don't know, Funhouse was a children's television program in the early 1990s that featured a man with an amazing mullet as a host. And
style icon.
The purpose of it was that you'd basically, as the contestants, you'd run through this fun house collecting tokens, and it was like ball pool pits and all kind of like wacky stuff. And the different amount of tokens you got gave you extra time at the Fun Kart Grand Prix, which was a whole different part of the game. So that's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
look it up.
Good TV, man. Good TV.
It was great TV. Yeah.
And also, for those of you that don't know, Adam's dream is to get gunged.
Yes.
Because he didn't get gunged on Funhouse.
I know, I was so
can you explain
jealous.
what gunging is to people that don't know what gunging is?
How to explain that?
Well, it's 90s style gunging, not like now. Like, it's not a sexual thing. And it's not like, basically like in like a lot of 90s TV, same with like Noel's House Party, and Get Your Own Back.
Get your own back.
Get your own back. Like a gunge tank. They get someone like their teacher or someone to sit in it, and they just like gunge them. Like as a...
But if they got a question wrong, isn't it?
Yeah,
They
it's good natured. I was just always jealous. I wanted to get guns. It'd be fun.
Right, so if we get to 1,100 YouTube subscribers by the end of this week, we're going to gunge Adam.
Okay, sick. That'd be awesome.
Wow, I mean that's quite a big claim. You're going to have to like make the whole because it was in a see-through cabinet sort of.
Only just to protect the studio.
That's true.
But yeah, we can. You can make guns. I figured it out. We can do this. But we need 15 more subscribers, basically. So I think it's pretty easy.
That'd be wicked. Well, please subscribe. Please subscribe. I want to do it.
Yeah, get your mates to subscribe. We need 15 more. We'll gunge Adam on next week's Diamond Cast.
I might just make 15 new accounts and emails so that
let's make 5 each, and then we'll do it.
Okay, yeah, let's teamwork.
They have to be real, guys. They have to be real. Otherwise, we could just gunge Adam anyway.
No one's gonna know.
That's true.
I will know.
Okay, so
anyway, how's everyone doing this week?
Yeah.
How's your tour going?
I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. It is 11 past 11 in the morning.
You look like you're ready to go on stage.
Well, that's because I always look cool.
Good for the cast, for the fans, isn't it?
Exactly. I am on stage. I'm on the world stage. I'm on the digital stage. So I guess we're like 3 weeks in now, and it's been really good, really well received, and we're in a very, very hot part of the world now, which isn't my favourite.
What's the weather forecast for
how
today?
many fans you got? And I mean,
exactly that, exactly. But fortuitously, in the States, they're very up on AC, so it's not really a huge issue. If it weren't for that, then I'd have like constantly like fans around me, some sort of mobile fan unit at all times. I would have to be rigged up.
Like a gunge tank of fans. Fan tank.
Exactly. So that's what would have to happen. Fortuitously, that's not the case. So I'm hanging out in this very opulent backstage area, which looks a bit like someone's conservatory. You know, that's
my nan's
like
that's a floral couch.
Yeah.
I honestly thought you were in a toilet, man. Honestly, what I'm seeing right now, it looks like a toilet. I don't know why.
Well, that sofa. You've got a nice bathroom. So that's where I am. And then we're in California from tomorrow
Right.
onwards.
Ooh.
So it'll be San Diego, Los Angeles, San Francisco for the next kind of week or so.
Nice. California's awesome. Love California.
But it makes it kind of tough because I'm now 8 hours away from you guys, which means sorting out stuff like us doing this together, just so you guys know out there, is actually quite complicated now because of the time zone differences. Just want you to really appreciate what we're doing.
Yeah.
What time is
Like
it?
it's just
It's now 13 minutes past 11 in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I always have to make sure that I can actually get into a venue, like access the building, get on the Wi-Fi, find a space where I can do it.
That's
like,
quite early to get to a venue, though, isn't it?
You got everything. You got all the productions are set up, all the stage set and everything. So yeah, I think it's fairly standard.
Yeah, the smoke machines set up,
and well, the fans mostly.
Oh yeah.
So Vincent, what did you say?
No, I said you're special. You're special.
Oh,
wow. They have to open the venue for you, even if you get there at 10 or 9 in the morning.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There's no one else there. It's just me to wander the empty rooms by myself, crying. But crying in AC, so that's important.
Why is it here? Yes.
Good thing you got a sofa, really, isn't it? Because you can
exactly
be comfortable. Yeah, cool. So, what's your favorite place you've been to so far?
It's always a really tricky question because when you're on tour, you don't really see the place unless you have a certain amount of days off there. So, the places that I did see a bit more of, I really liked Boston. I'd not really had a chance to check that out, but that was a very cool kind of town. And I also went into Dallas, which we went to this really great area called Bishop's Arts, which was this really kind of boutique-y kind of like artisan, like little coffee shops kind of thing. Really cool area. And I'd not really experienced Dallas before. And in my head, it was always just like very Texas, but it's not. It's really like interesting and quite. Some of it was quite sort of European-y. So yeah, very cool. I think everywhere's becoming really cool these days, like the big cities. So it's cool.
Cool. Did you get any souvenirs?
Did I get any souvenirs?
Vests.
What? No, I didn't. Hang on, vests.
To do a collective vest.
Well, that's true.
On a vest tour.
The vest tour. The vest tour.
Like a different vest in every state.
Best of the vest tour.
Best of the vest.
Cool. So, Vincent, Adam, what have you been up to this week?
I'm in Studio Le Vincent in London, rainy London, working. That's it pretty much. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. Just working all week here.
I've been putting some final finishing touches to the artwork for our next release, which we've actually been discussing behind the scenes. Yeah, so that's some exciting stuff. I don't know when we're going to do a news release about. So,
but yeah, I guess we can now say that we are planning on the release of a single. The actual date is TBC, but it looks extremely likely that it will be this year. Yeah. Yes, people. So once we have the actual release date in stone, we will let you guys know, and then we can start campaigning towards that.
I think that deserves a. Really exciting.
That's really exciting, isn't it? Exciting. I didn't think we were going to hear about the new release today on the cast, but that's really exciting. Is that as much as you can say? Can you give us anything else about it?
I think that's probably the best for now.
That's the best for now. All right.
Yeah, I think the best.
I think we'll be able to announce it maybe next week or the week after. So keep watching the cast. Really make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell to find out.
That's right. And again, thank you guys all so much for being so patient with us releasing these songs. What this does mean is that this next release is then the start of a much more cohesive and coherent release like strategy. That's what it kind of ushers in. So, and I appreciate you guys have been so patient. We really, really, really cared about the music, and we wanted to get it out in the right way, and we needed the infrastructure there to do it, which we've been working on getting that together. And now that we do have it together, then things are going to be a lot more prolific, let's say. So thank you for your patience.
Thank you. We've been doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and now it's going to hopefully be going forward rather than big weights.
Yeah, it's actually one of the things I'm doing in here. Just still sorting out some of the drums for the other song. So
yeah,
I didn't want to spoil it.
Loads
I
of
didn't
new
want
ones.
to say anything, but that's one of the things I'm doing.
Might be going in the studio at some point soon.
Yeah. So
excited. Tease. I'm such a tease.
You are, aren't you?
I need that. Ooh, I need the sound effect. Damn it.
Yeah, but I mean,
there's stuff coming.
Yeah, and there's stuff being released, but also we've been writing a lot of stuff. I think we've talked about this a little bit before, and we've got quite a good process at the moment of being able to send ideas back and forth between the three of us, of building up the songs slowly. And what we're coming up with, I think, is really, really exciting, and we all feel really enthused by it, the material. So what we're hopeful for is that we can actually get all of those new songs, which will be an album's worth, recorded by the start of next year, and then beyond, then look at putting a whole record out. So next year, hopefully, will be really prolific for us in terms of actual releases.
Oh, yeah.
And then more releases means more shows, means it's a lot easier to get good shows when you've actually got more products released. And that's been the struggle that we found so far, is because we don't have a lot of releases. It's been quite hard for us to get on the shows and things like that. And I think we've done really well, given the let's say the modest amount of releases.
It means we'll have more things to talk about on this cast rather than like Funhouse and kids' TV shows as well.
Basically, yeah,
doing really well.
But it's really exciting.
Well with the Funhouse and stuff. Yeah, it is crazy exciting. There's so much going on, and I think, I mean, I've heard some of what you've been doing.
Oh, it sounds banging.
Amazing. So, I'm really excited for you, and I'm really excited for how everyone's going to react to it as well.
Yeah, me too. I think it's so important as a creative person to get your work out there. I think it's obviously creating stuff is amazing, and part of that, as I think we discussed on another episode, Adam, was actually releasing it to the world is an important part of the creative process. Yeah. Feeling like you're actually producing something and providing something to people, rather than, it's great to create stuff, but part of that is getting it out there. And I think it's been quite challenging for all of us, is that we've had a bit of frustration of, we've got all this great stuff that we've just had in the background, wanting to get it out, but not quite. And it's the same for you guys, being so supportive to us with just a few songs released. And again, we really appreciate the commitment.
We want to do it properly and do it justice, while at the same time, you want to get out. So double-edged sword, but we've got a plan.
Exactly, yeah, and it's finding that balance, like you said before, about progress, not perfection, of finding a way of getting.
These songs are perfection. Other than that,
they are perfection. They literally are perfection.
Hey, yeah, boom.
Yeah,
but progress on the way to.
Yeah. I mean, because I think sometimes if you hold on to your material for too long and you're just like, this is the best thing I'll ever do, I'll never do anything better, then like, whereas you look at a lot of bands, and I'm sure that they thought their first album was the best thing they'd ever do, and then the next one was they liked even more and even more. So yeah, just sort of trying to get stuff out there, I think, is really important for us.
Exciting.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah, this is really, really good. So 2025 is going to be massive for you guys, and I can't wait to do episodes centered around that and around the run up to releases and launches and things like that. It's going to be really, really good. We're going to try and get to as wide a reach of an audience as possible as well. So that's part of the plan before releasing things as well. So I'm sure you can imagine that's going to be very, very exciting, and also everyone's going to be super busy. So this is like the calm before the storm, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, even though Ben's on tour at the minute, when he comes back, there's no rest. No rest
for the wicked, is there? Yeah, it's going to be really cool. So hopefully the guys will let me come in with my fly on the wall camera and film some of these things that's going to happen in the next few weeks. Looking forward to that. Hopefully,
production
you'll
diary.
Let me.
Yeah, that would be great.
Cool.
Like you being part of us putting the new songs together in studio environments and writing and recording and arranging. Absolutely get involved. I think that stuff's really exciting and interesting.
Yeah, and I'm sure everyone at home would be keen to see a fly on the wall perspective as well.
Yeah. Let us know.
Not just for me. Yeah, write down in the comments what you'd like me to go and film, because as long as whatever they let me film, I'll be filming it. Got my trusty camera. Yeah.
It's good stuff coming.
It's good, really good stuff. Yeah.
Stuff's coming.
So, well, we're moving on to what we wanted to talk about this week. That's been quite a hot topic, if you might, over the last couple of weeks, is the gig ticket economy and how that has affected fans across the globe for different famous gigs, famous concerts, and how that affects people, how that affects fans, how that affects people's kudos in the music industry, and just kind of want to know what you guys think of it. We asked the people at home like what the most they've ever paid for a gig ticket is, and also compared that to what people are currently paying for certain gigs in the world today. It's astonishing.
Do you want me to go?
Yes, Adam, if you will, please.
Well, I think we were going to talk about this a couple of weeks ago when Oasis was in the news because of their, I don't know if anyone at home knows, but Oasis is a big British band and they haven't played for years. And it's a big sort of hoo-ha with their tickets that went on sale recently. It's a couple of weeks ago. We're a bit out of the loop, but we thought we'd talk about it anyway. What Ticketmaster did with their ticket sales is, say it's £150, something like that, face value, but because it was they introduced an on-demand ticket pricing scheme, a bit like how with an Uber price increases if it's peak time. So they introduced this scheme with ticket prices for Oasis that because it's high demand, there was a variable price ticket. So it was £150 face value, but at the time they went on sale, because there's such big demand, you could be paying 350 quid for one. Which, I mean, obviously not, which is a lot, and a lot of people weren't particularly happy about. And then the other sort of kicker was that, if you couldn't go and you wanted to resell those tickets, you could only resell them through Ticketmaster. So if you resold them yourself or any other platform, then they would be null and void. And if you resold them on Ticketmaster, you could only sell them for the face value, which was 150 quid.
Automatically losing half.
Yes. So if you'd have paid 300 quid on this pricing scale, if you wanted to resell them, you could only resell them for the 150. So Ticketmaster sort of done this double whammy on people, where you're paying over the odds, and then if you do want to sell them, then Ticketmaster win because you have to use their platform, and you don't really get to resell them for what they want. So that was quite a national news story in the UK at the time, and quite a lot of people were a bit pissed off about it.
What was the outcome? Did Ticketmaster change their approach, or did they just stick to that?
I feel like, because it was a few weeks ago, I think they might have waived it that if you resell them, then you resell them for the amount you paid. But the gauge of what you paid for them didn't change. But I think they waived it so that if you wanted to resell them, you still had to resell it through Ticketmaster, but you could resell it the starting price for what you paid for them rather than the asking price. So it's still, yeah.
Are the tickets exclusive to Ticketmaster?
I think so.
Ticket.
Yeah, I think they were.
I think that's the problem.
Yeah, it was the only ticket
when you have that monopoly, that's the problem. They can do anything.
Yeah, and I don't know, this sort of slide in demand pricing set up a bit, because there's two schools of thought, right? So Oasis haven't played for a long time. They know they're going to sell out. They're doing 10 days. I was listening to people like Justin Hawkins from The Darkness talk about this, right? You could either adopt the model that Oasis did, where you do, charge a lot of money, do a small amount of dates, cash in, and then sort of out. Or you do multiple dates for a much lower price. Because, Oasis are probably alienated and pissed off quite a lot of their fan base through this pricing structure. Whereas it'd be better to charge less money and do 3 nights at Wembley rather than one night. And you make the same amount of money, but you don't feel like, people don't feel like they're ripped off as much. I think that's the...
Also, more people get to see you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like don't want to sort of... People want to feel like they're getting good value for money and not being ripped off. That was the crux of that
definitely
thing.
not on as a surprise as well, because I heard that the ticket I was talking to someone about it today, and apparently that you got told this ticket was a certain price, and then you went in the queue,
that's
and you didn't know until you got through the queue, and then it was like, ta-da, you're at number one in the queue now. By the way, the price has increased by twice the amount, and there's only 10 seats left.
You thought it was 150 quid because that's the price, and then you have to queue up for like 3 hours, and then when you get through, it's like you're number one in the queue now. It's 250 quid or 350 quid or whatever, depending on the answer.
And then by this time, you probably pay it.
Crazy.
I think I read somewhere that actually some people paid over $1,000 for this for the ticket because they had no choice. Like you said, they were on the queue,
and if you queued up, then
they had to buy it.
Yeah. So there you go. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I guess the get out is that if it comes up, hey, now you have to pay $1,000.
You can back out, but
exactly, it's still the customer's choice to go. I don't want to pay $1,000. So I guess that's how they cover it. It's like, wait, we didn't force you to pay $1,000.
The thing is, it's such an in-demand gig. There will be people that pay it.
Yeah,
because they haven't played for so long, and it's like a limited amount. There will be someone that pays for it. So that's why I think they had this. They knew that if they charged such exorbitant prices, that some people would be like, "Fuck this," but some people will pay for it, so it will sell out eventually.
Yeah, it just doesn't
sit right with as a fan. I think.
No, exactly.
Yeah, I suppose only people with a certain amount of money can go.
I don't know how much like the band and stuff have to say over this. But
yeah, that's the thing, because that's why I asked earlier if it's exclusively sold at Ticketmaster, because if that was the case, they can do anything. They have control over probably the band and can't do anything. Can't do much about it.
There's another kick in the teeth was that Oasis said that gig tickets resold at inflated prices will be cancelled if they've been resold. So like through either, I guess, the touting websites and so on, wouldn't be authorized. So people who did actually pay on the extra money through a touting website wouldn't have their tickets honoured.
Yeah, so they've got you over barrel the way, really. Which is a shame because, people really want to go to the gig and really want to see it. And I'm sure they want fans to go there, but it's like, I hope it's not a trend, basically, in the music industry that this sort of pricing model moves forward. Because from my point of view, I'd rather play to as many people as possible, even if I want them to feel like they've had good value for money. I feel like with this, if you're going to go through and maybe have to pay 300 quid when you thought it was 150, you're going to feel a bit ripped off, I think.
Yeah, you're going to go to the show and it's going to be like, well, how can this possibly be worth that much that I paid? Was there a thing, and do they still do this thing, where in some shows they cordon off an area close to the stage, and that is the area that you pay? Yeah, that you then actually you go, right, I'm going to pay premium price for that because I know I'm going to be close to the band in these big shows like arena shows. Is that still a thing that bands do?
Yeah, I think when we went to the Foo Fighters recently at West Ham Stadium, they had a pit pass bit.
But did you have to have a certain wristband to get into it though?
Well, we couldn't get in there. We tried to sneak in. So
yeah. I remember when I in 2005 I went to see Queen and Paul Rodgers with my dad, and we paid the extra money to go in the Golden Circle, and we stood right at the front, right in front of Brian May, and we paid £50 for the tickets. So they were the higher price ticket, right? And that was the Golden Circle price. So I don't know what the other price was. I think it was £35 or something. That was in Hyde Park.
That sounds like a really reasonable markup, because the experience you get, you pay that money and you feel good for having paid that money because you get a great experience, rather than it be you just get the same experience as everybody else, but because of the way that the ticket was sold to you.
You pay like an add-on.
Yeah. It's like basically you paid the extra because you know you're going to get more. And therefore you can feel satisfied when you are in the Golden Circle or whatever, and you're like, wow, I paid 15 extra quid. Great, I'm getting my money's worth.
Yeah, but that's 15 extra quid.
That's
like
quite different.
It's not that much of a difference, and it's not like it doesn't price out people who are like.
Yeah, but even if it's like 200 quid extra, it's your choice to pay it if you want to go into that.
Yeah.
I think it's hopefully, I mean, like you would say, it doesn't become a trend. I think if they don't do anything about Ticketmaster, it might become a trend, especially for bigger bands like Oasis and Foo Fighters and Metallica. It might actually start happening because they think, oh, we're making so much money from this. Let's keep doing it. I think it has to.
And they know someone will pay for it. They know they've got people over a barrel in a sort of way that, like, say, if I get through the queue and I'm like, oh, that sounds rubbish. Well, there's 30,000 people behind me in the queue. One of them will go for it. So sort of got a barrel a bit.
Yeah, that's the thing, because I mean, you would pay. A lot of people would pay whatever it takes to go to the front row to see their favorite artist, right?
Yeah, I wonder if Ticketmaster, and this is just me devil's advocating here, right? Maybe they're in a situation where they're like, oh shit, we haven't sold loads of tickets here, and here. How can we make up some money? Okay, Oasis, that will definitely sell loads. Let's do a scheme where we can try and claw back some money off of that. It's not moralistically correct, but I'm just thinking maybe that's the ethos behind something like that.
Yeah,
Wait.
No.
No, I don't even know if
I'm trying to absorb what Ben said. Is actually very interesting. I'm trying to absorb it. Actually, that's a good point. I was doing that.
Yeah, I know.
We just sort of presume that they're these sort of tyrannical overlords who are just trying to make as much money as possible, but presumably that maybe there's some kind of thought process behind it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you would if you want to fill up some seats, but I mean, I doubt concerts like that would need to fill up seats. I mean, I'm assuming because they've only got one show in each city as well.
So therefore, they're like, we're definitely going to sell it out. Let's try and make X amount more money on this surefire show.
Yeah,
because these other shows haven't sold. I mean,
but then that's the problem. It's sort of starting to price fans out. You know, if you are doing this, like, you know, well, someone's going to pay no matter how high it is. It sort of prices out, you know, people that don't have 500 quid to burst on a ticket. You know.
Well, exactly that, and it's not fair, is it? It's not fair that you should get to see your favorite band because you earn more money than someone else who loves them as much, or maybe more.
Exactly.
And I don't remember when I was growing up ticket prices being exorbitant. I don't remember it being a subject of like, oh my god, have you seen the ticket prices for this? Maybe it's
but then when it was like, oh my god, it was like 50 quid.
Well, yeah. I mean, I got tickets for Bon Jovi at Cardiff Arms Park in 1995 for 25 quid a ticket.
Yeah, exactly. 50 quid was crazy.
And I don't know if contextually 25 quid in 1995 was a lot of money or not. But I don't remember thinking this is insane.
Loads. Absolutely loads.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to know how much the cost of putting on shows, you know, back end production wise has increased as well. Obviously, probably the budget and cost of putting on these shows might have increased in line with it.
A fan's expectation of the production value of a show higher now than what it was of just, hey, I'm just going to see the band.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I expect all this huge production in terms of like lighting and screens and pyro and inflatable dinosaurs and stuff.
Pick a tape. Balloons.
Like confetti cannons, guns tank. Is the expectation there that stuff has to be there? And what are artists like? Is Oasis doing a massive production? I see them more as just like anoraks and guitars, and that's their show.
Yeah, I don't see them having pyro as well. There's no way.
It's not Rammstein.
Yeah,
it's just it's not their style. I don't think. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I just can't imagine Oasis with expensive pyro.
Like
firing
anoraks out into the audience.
That'd be awesome. I'd pay 300 quid for that.
Massive inflatable, just morose looking bloke on the back, just like, oh, fucking hell, mate, what's this fucking shite? Yeah, it's just, it doesn't really go with the aesthetic, does it? Because big production goes with more of a like 80s rock show, doesn't it? Whereas the 90s.
Maybe that was why this was a bit of a contentious news article. Because Oasis are sort of like, you know, very much like common man kind of, you know, bit pop,
blue collar sort of.
Yeah. That was what.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be interested to see, like, are they doing a massive production?
That'd be.
Yeah,
we'll
after that.
We'll comment on it later when they've done the show.
Will they even get to the gig before they break up again? That's more.
That's another thing. You know.
Maybe this amount of money is like some guarantee that they can't back out.
It's not even though, is it? That's the thing. People are now, the bookies are taking bets for whether or not they'll still be together.
Really?
No, we hope they will be for all the people that have paid so much. There's an interview actually on the 90s thing. There's an interview that Kurt Cobain did, or that Nirvana did together, which was clipped, and I saw on Instagram, popped up the other day, probably because we were researching all this stuff, right? But it's Nirvana talking about how they're all shocked when they get told that Madonna charges $50 for a gig ticket in 1993, and then it sort of cuts to Chris Novoselic saying, actually, I thought we should raise our. We were saying we should raise our tickets to like $20 or something, but we thought that was a bit pricey, and we didn't want to do that. So yeah, that was 1993.
Wonder what the equivalent of $20 then is now.
To be fair, I don't think Nirvana had a very big production though compared to Madonna.
That's true. Fewer costume changes.
Well, they have to pay for like smashing guitars up. You have to pay for the replacement of guitars.
Yeah. And cardigans. You have to do a cardigan change before the encore.
Opposite of you, Ben.
Yeah, exactly. All the cost for all those sleeves.
Or like a sleeve collector.
Yeah.
Pay for the person to pick up all the sleeves. All right. So let's do a poll. How much do you think that it costs to get a ticket to see Taylor Swift on October the 18th at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida?
Shit. Was this Stan? You asking us?
Well, there isn't. I'm asking you. There isn't really a standard price, but I mean, how much do you think like the average ticket price would be?
Seeing or standing?
Well, there don't appear to be any.
Okay, just general.
It's all just like blocks. It's sold like blocks. It doesn't say whether it's seating or standing, and the stage goes out into the middle. So it's like.
Oh my god! Is this like The Price is Right?
Do we need to write? Do we need to write
higher or lower?
To be objective, do we each need to write down our answer and hold it up at the same time?
I mean, I didn't ask you to bring in pen and paper, so it's all right if you don't. But I mean, just shout your answers.
90s game shows eventually, didn't it?
This is what happened. Oh, go on then.
Right, so I'm gonna hold it up without any kind of. I know you guys probably don't have pen and paper, but this is going to be my guess. All right,
we can do this.
All right, okay. Can join in at home. And so this is. So by the way, I've gone on SeatGeek. I've gone on the website SeatGeek. All right, for this.
Okay. So who's taking part? Who's taking part? I've got my bit of paper.
Yeah.
Are you taking part, Adam?
I'm taking part. I've written on my phone.
Okay. Do it on your phone. Do it on your phone, Vinny.
Let me see.
Go for the lowest price that says from, and then also the average average price.
I was just gonna. Can I just add one number?
You can, but you'll be shocked.
Okay, let me write it down.
My one number is. Are we going like lowest? I've done lowest.
Oh, you've done
doing
lowest.
average?
Okay.
What we doing?
Go on. Go lowest, because I don't have time to work all this averages out.
Okay, let's just go. So lowest price, everybody.
Lowest price for a Taylor Swift ticket in Miami.
Are you ready?
This month.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1, then we show it. Okay.
Yeah.
3, 2,
1. Show it. So the lowest price. So the lowest price. So Ben says £75. Adam says £273, and Vinny says £350. You are all way out. Times it by 20.
No way. No.
The lowest price is $1,251.
Jesus.
What?
The average price looks to be around the $4,000 mark, and the highest price I can see
is it sold out?
$8,017 near the stage. There's nothing under 1,000 here.
How can?
That's why it's the highest grossing tour of all time. Fucking prices like this, mate.
There's like nobody there.
They always look packed.
I'm telling you guys, we're playing the wrong music. We're playing the wrong music. We're playing Taylor Swift.
We need to start singing about our ex-boyfriends and stuff. We need to change this.
Turn out with a cowboy hat on for the next gigs.
Wait,
you should have one.
America. Get one while you're in America.
Yeah, I just left Texas, heading down to the turnpike.
It's got to be sparkly though, Ben.
Oh yeah, of course.
Get your glitter glue pens out on the tour bus home.
That's crazy. Well,
that's Did you get it right at home?
I guess it's. I don't know. Is it parents paying for the tickets for their kids? I guess.
It's insane. $5,000 or whatever. 4,000.
So that's the cheap. What was the cheapest again?
Holiday.
What's the lowest?
I'd like to. It says 1,251 on October the 18th, but I am looking at a website called SeatGeek. I don't know if that's a resale site or if that's the actual site because I'm not sure about the different ticket touting sites in America. But yeah, I just googled Taylor Swift tickets, and this is the first link came up with the first thing.
Maybe Oasis.
Cheap. Did anyone else get Taylor Swift tickets, and did you get them cheaper than?
Don't say that's Ticketmaster.
No, just ignore everything I just said for the last 15 minutes. Fuck
no. So we asked people at home what the most that they've spent on gig tickets is, and lots of people replied, lots of people commented. So it's nothing like what we just said.
It's a shame we don't have a gig coming up that we can plug. Just be like, well, you could come and see Diamond Black 100 times instead.
And still have some left over for the merch. You've got Emma Gover's just paid €100 or about £85 for Iron Maiden. I think it's pretty reasonable. Iron Maiden's pretty big, £85, pretty fair.
Were we going to say what the most we've paid personally for a gig is?
Yeah, what's the most you guys have paid for a gig, actually?
Dun, dun, dun.
Adam?
Well, I bought... Okay. I paid a lot of money for when I went to see Barry Manilow recently. But I bought two tickets. Well,
how much was one ticket?
£350. But it was 4 rows from the front and its last ever tour. So I thought that was... you're not going to get another chance. So.
And it was in a theatre.
It was in a theatre,
which is quite intimate as well. So it wasn't like
was it the Palladium?
Palladium, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
So that was cool. My justification. Not going to see him again. And we're right at the front, so...
And the other one that you paid around that for was the...
Oh, and it's, I paid fucking like £500 for the Taylor Swift Memorial Concert. Wait, not Taylor Swift. Taylor Hawkins. Taylor Hawkins. Yeah, the Taylor Hawkins gig at Wembley Stadium after he passed away. So that's like an all day of Foo Fighters. And that's the best
one-off,
gig ever. Yeah.
You know, it was like 6 hours. And also, was it not Liam Gallagher who kicked it off? The opener.
Oh yeah, I think he was there. Yeah, so,
technically you have seen half of it.
Yeah, I've seen half of it. There you go. It was some money.
Probably £499 went to him. No, it was all. It went to charity. Yeah, it went to charity. So okay, cool.
Yeah, which is fair.
Most...
All right.
There you go. What you boys
cool.
I think I paid about £100 to go to Reading Festival, which was for 3 days. This is in like 1804.
I'm going to say that was a while ago.
I can't remember how much it was, but it was probably something like that. It was like a birthday present. So I didn't pay it. But yeah, that was,
so zero then.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. What about you, Vinny?
I think I paid £40 for Guns N' Roses, and then
£40.
£40 for Red Hot Chili Peppers. Although I didn't pay for that because it's kind of like a work thing, so the boss paid for it. Dave Matthews, man, I think it's about the same 40.
40.
And I think Download Festival. I think it was probably the most expensive, but I don't really count that as because it's a festival, you know. But I think it was about for 1 day with Rage Against the Machine and Megadeth headlining. I think it was about £60 to £80. I can't remember exactly.
Good deal though for the amount of bands you get to see at a festival.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so this is, I suppose, Adam, the ones you went to are sort of one-off gigs that you know,
well, that's
special.
why they're the most expensive ones.
Yeah, and then when you're talking about festivals, obviously they're going to be more because you're thinking about the atmosphere and the all-day bands and the, you know, everything that comes with the festival. But so for actual gigs then, so Vincent, you're going for £40.
Something like that, yeah.
It's pretty good. Guns N' Roses.
When was
What year is this?
About the same. And Red Hot Chili Peppers, they were playing at O2 Greenwich, so it's a really good venue, good production. I think it was,
What year are we talking? Is this recent?
No, it was around 2015 with their
Pretty good.
Yeah. And like I said, with Download Festival, I can't remember if it was £80, but it was something like that.
I need to know where you guys get your tickets from.
Well, do you think tickets were less in the 90s because there were still record sales then? So they didn't. Is that part of it? A ticket price has gone up because they're like, well, where do we make money now if we can't sell any records?
Because streaming platforms took the majority of the listeners, and so people buy fewer CDs, I guess. Although vinyl's come back a lot.
Yeah, I just think that for a lot of people, a lot of certain generation don't even remember buying stuff. So why would they start doing it now? It's always just been there.
Buy our merch though. Our merch is awesome.
Merch, yes, but actual songs.
We have some releases.
What are the fans saying about all of this? Like the ticket sales, are they violently against it, or what is it?
Violently. I don't see anyone has threatened any violence yet, but and Gold Cloud says just recently spent $500 for 2 tickets to Metallica, with a face with a spiral eyes, which seems quite like it's a lot. Sister Crimson says on a regular ticket $200 due to fees. Once did meet and greet combo, which was over $300.
Meet and greets are cool.
Meet and greet. I mean, that's fair enough.
Depends who you're meeting, but that's a good. At least that's an optional extra, so that's a choice. Like we're saying about like going into the front pit, these are upgrades.
Yeah, I mean, Apali.me says $350 for Sleep Token Red Rocks front row.
Nice.
So that's special for front row. We've got Darian Lee Music says $350 for Pit.
Pit a band.
No, like I think.
Oh, you
pit,
mean like in
as
the
in
pit?
The pit. Yeah.
Okay, cool, my bad.
Wood Metal says €200 plus last year. 200 plus euros, sorry, last year at the Ancien Belgique. 300 if you count festivals. Fair enough, festivals. Little Dragon Cosplay says $500, $500 with this emoji. Satu Valo $380 for Rammstein. Oof.
They got a big production.
At
least you know where your money's going.
Yeah,
there's fireworks.
Does he have a foam cannon, like a big foam cannon?
Yeah.
Janine Zulumi says €60 for 30 Seconds to Mars in 2014. Nico78 says £100 to see Kiss.
Which
says £150 with a crying emoji.
Which one of the last ever tours?
One of the last
ever this year.
I think 100 for Kids is absolutely worth it.
Yeah,
their production. I actually saw them as well, but I think the ticket would have been £100 as well, but I got it for free because of a friend. So big production. £100 is really good.
Yeah, £100 to see Kiss, definitely.
Wait, did we go together?
Brilliant value.
Oh yeah, actually, Adam. Yeah.
Nice.
Were you the friend?
Right?
Yeah. Were you the friend that bought Vincent a ticket?
That was supposed to be the last ever tour, but I think they've done an extra last ever tour since then.
What year was that?
Don't know. It's a while ago. Before the pandemic, I think.
Oh yeah. I mean, everything before the pandemic. It's a different world. Venus Doom says $300. Mary Coleman says a whack load for the upcoming Sisters of Mercy gig at the Greek Theatre Los Angeles.
Uh-oh. Dun dun dun. That's good.
Hey, don't look at me.
Well, I was hoping for like a cheer there or something because that's coming up soon. That you're going to California, right?
Right, cool.
But then she also adds at the end, worth it.
I just want to point out that, to the viewers that a lot of bands they especially bands like us we put the ticket price up because of basically economy. Everything else has gone up. The price of the venue, the hiring venue, or the tour bus. Like before COVID, for example, the tour bus hire cost about £1,000 a day. Now it's £1,500 a day. So, I think it's only natural for bands like us or smaller bands to also increase the ticket price because of those things. It's basically economy, but it's nothing absurd like how bigger bands charge their fans for tickets, like 150 or 200 or even £1,000. Nothing like that. But I think smaller bands they do it because they have to. They have no choice. They have to make their money from merch, from CD sales, from streaming, and also ticket sales. So it's only fair for smaller bands to also increase the ticket price just a little bit, just to make up for everything else that's gone up.
And also because of COVID, people tend to come. I don't know if it's still an issue, but I think people do come out less because of certainly the period after COVID, during COVID, of people actually committing to coming to shows. Whereas before there was no question, everyone's like, yes, I'm going to the show. Whereas since then there has been an element of drop off with shows, both in terms of people who actually even bought the ticket not showing up,
a lot of venues shut down as well.
But yeah, exactly. But also shows where you're expecting a lot of walk up. People just at the last minute going, actually, no, I don't want to go because why risk it? So that's been an issue as well, I think, for bands, is that they can't guarantee that people are even going to show up, even if they want to, because of COVID concerns that certainly in the last few years, and we're still seeing now there is some element of that.
What about you? What about the sisters, Ben? Have you kind of like changed the? I don't know if you're allowed to talk about it. Have you? I'm
not involved in that at all, and I don't really know anything about it. But I do know that there are, even when you're playing in a band of this size, there is still drop off. People buy the tickets and they don't show up, or certain countries have a much bigger walk up than other countries. The shows rely a lot on the walk up and people just turning up on the night. And again, COVID or any concerns like that, actually, I'm not going to risk it. I'm not going to go. Whereas there will be no question about going. 6 years ago, if your favourite band was in town.
And some countries are more conscious of COVID still than others as well.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. Yeah.
So, just before we go, I just want to ask the guys again: what's your anthem of the week? What are you listening to?
Damsky.
Okay, I haven't really had an anthem of the week, but I've had an anthem of the day. Been listening to a lot of Joan Jett today, getting in the mood. Crimson and Clover is my anthem of the week. I think that's my favourite Joan Jett song, and I was listening to that on repeat before starting the cast today. I always listen to like about half an hour of music to get me in the mood for doing the cast, and it's normally some sort of punk kind of upbeat stuff. So Joan Jett is my Crimson and Clover. That's my song of the week.
Yeah, I think our emotional relationship that we have with music is really important. And what I've been finding on this tour is I've actually been listening to quite a lot of Nick Kershaw. And the reason for that is not only because I like his 80s work, but also it reminds me of home. It reminds me of growing up. So it gives me a sort of foundation and security of reconnecting with myself as a kid, and that security, because when you're on tour, everything's changing all the time. You don't have that homely sense that you have when you're at home. So I think I'm analysing it now and realising that's why I've been listening to a lot of that. It's because it sort of grounds me in an ever fluctuating situation of being on tour.
Nice. Like nostalgic and like.
Yeah, nostalgic and just reconnecting with a self that you've known all your life, and that sense of identity. It makes you feel like you. It makes you feel safe, and it makes you feel like at home, even if you're in wildly different places every day.
Nice. We got Vince.
Cool. It's really interesting you mentioned Nick Kershaw, because I really like. I'm not familiar with most of his catalog, but there's one song from him that I really absolutely love. And that's because Vinny Colaiuta played drums on it. It's a really it's not a progressive band. It's not technical, but it's just that one particular song. The drum fill is so insane, and that pop song is. I don't know if it's pop or something, but it's an alternative rock song. But it's just insane. It's amazing that you mentioned him. Because
do you know what song it is?
I think it's "Don't Ask Me" or something.
Yeah, because I was listening to that yesterday.
That's it. Do you notice the drum fill?
Yeah, is it the one that goes in before the last chorus?
Yes, exactly that one.
I was listening to it, thinking that's so amazing. There's like hi-hats and crashes and like fucking. I was like, this is amazing.
That's amazing. You mentioned it, man. That's cool.
Yeah, great. Well, that's amazing.
There you go. So two in one, two Nick Kershaw's.
It's like hi-hats and splashes and kicks and stuff, and it's just within quite a short space of time. It's like a 2-bar fill or something.
Yeah.
It's just like everything is used on the kit.
That's
Nice.
Well, that's it. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching as ever. If you like that, please like and subscribe, and also tell your mates to subscribe, because if we get 15 more subscribers by next week, then we'll make some guns. So thank you very much for all your support and for watching and joining the chat.
Thanks.
See you next week.
See you later, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.